What's up, guys, and welcome back to Athena Off-Road. Today's video, we're going on a road trip to pick up some wheels. Let's get right into it. We got the partner here in crime. Partner in crime here. A good old good old good old. Alright guys, so we're on the way right now to pick up some wheels and tires. These are Polaris General wheels. They're 14-inch wheels. I'll try to post some pictures, like maybe have them up on the screen right now, of what they look like. The tires on them look halfway decent, and the wheels, I think they'll look a lot better. And being 14s, they should look a lot better on the Sportsman, but we're on our way right now to get them, and I thought I'd just bring you guys along for the ride. So it's about an hour out still. It's about an hour and 25 minutes or so away. So hopefully get them for a pretty good deal. They were asking $300 and I talked them down to $250, and I'm gonna try to talk them down a little bit more once we get there. And hopefully I can try to walk away with these things for $200. That's what I'm aiming for. But if not, I'd like to get them for a little under $250 if I can. So just stick around and let's see what happens.
How's your fucking wheel tape, dude? Yeah.
Alright guys, we got the wheels. It was pretty easy. They would not go any lower than $250. I tried to talk them down, not very convincingly because I'm not great at it, but not very convincingly because I'm not great at it, but I did get them for $249 because I couldn't find my other dollar. I have no idea where it went. So I got them $1 cheaper, but it's probably at their house. I probably dropped it, so they're probably still at $250. But anyway, we're on our way back now. I know I'll probably have to buy either new studs, and if not the studs, I'm gonna have to buy the new lugs, because the lugs I have now are not, they're hub centric. So they're, the wheel's actually designed to be hub centric, which I can show you the lug nuts are just like a flat nut, where I'm gonna have to buy the conical cone nuts, lug nuts. So I'm gonna have to probably order them, and I may have to buy larger studs or some spacers depending on how these wheels fit. They are 27s, the tires, so they're gonna be a lot bigger than what's on there now. But the wheels look great. They're a little dirty. One of them is missing the center cap, so we're going to what are you doing? They're missing the center cap, so that's going to be an issue. I'll probably try to buy some of them. This video may be a little longer. I'll probably wait to finish editing this video until I get the wheels actually on, and to do like a before after and pictures and stuff like that. But we got them. They're in the back. I don't know, see if you can see them here. You probably cannot. They're back there though. But we're on the way home now, so it'll be like a second for you guys, and it's an hour for us. So peace out. Rock out with. Alright guys, we made it back. Trent's getting the last wheel out of the truck. Here they are. They are Polaris General wheels with tires. They're the Maxxis, whatever that means, MU9C. They got quite a bit of tread left on them, and for $250, which is what I got them for, they're not bad. They've been sitting for a while, as you can tell. I'm breathing heavy because I'm out of shape, but they're dirty. They need to be cleaned. But the difference on these things is pretty insane. Now they're 14-inch wheels, but I'm definitely gonna to have the cone lug nuts to fit these things, because they're just not gonna fit. But I'm gonna jack it up here in a second and try to put a front one on and just see how it looks. See what it looks like. But those are them. I'll get another couple of pictures. Here's the one missing the center cap, so I'm gonna have to buy some center caps to replace it. But I'm gonna get some, clean them up some and get them to look pretty nice. Well, here they are. A little bit washed. I already pulled one over there. They do have some like fade from the sun on the actual rim too. You can kind of see here like some orange fade. I don't know if that can be, well, maybe it's just brake dust. It might just be brake dust. I may need to get a rag and actually clean these off. I just sprayed them off with a pressure washer. These a little bit of soap, but I didn't really scrub in there. I'm sure they need to be scrubbed, but I'll probably do that once they're on the four-wheeler. We mounted them up just to see if they would on the wheels, and they're definitely going to need different lugs because they have the cone shape holes. So I'm going to order some of those. It should be here in a couple days. There are a couple nicks, like some rash, but really not bad. So you can see there, it's kind of faded a little bit here. Now I may get some like something to shine those back up. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm not going to worry about it until they're on the four-wheeler. I'm going to go ahead and stack them all up out of the way in the garage until I get this stuff. But for you, it'll be, you know, a second or two. And then for me, it's going to be several days. So we'll see you then. Okay, so now it's been 2 days. It's Wednesday anyway. I got this set of lug nuts. Comes with a little lug wrench and 16 lugs. So I'm gonna take this wheel off here, and I have it jacked up a little bit already. Gonna take this wheel off and try to put the new ones on with these new lug nuts and see what happens. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so these old lugs are 14s. So we're just gonna try to pop these off real fast, if I can. Okay, now that those are off, take these. It's a lot faster if you do it by hand. Now we need to jack the four-wheeler up some more. Pull this wheel off and see if these new ones fit. See, this is the issue I think I was going to have. I'm going to have to order new lugs, new studs, because the actual rim is riding on the hubs of the, maybe not, oh, it's because of that. Yeah, I think the studs are going to be too short. I mean, these thread right on. I think the issue is I'm just going to have to, these are 1.5-inch studs, and I think literally if I had a 1/4 inch more, I would be able to grip on. Because see, there's one on right now. There's only a couple threads. There's only actually a couple threads gripping on the actual stud, which I don't think is going to be viable. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. Unfortunately, I mean, you can see it kind of grips on, but there's so little thread on these. I don't trust that at all. Even if I use this little thing it came with, which this is, what size is this? This looks pretty big. Anyway, even if I use this, see, they almost thread off. I'm definitely going to have bigger studs. Unfortunately, that does suck, but I had a feeling it was gonna be an issue. I can either get new studs or new spacers. So I'm gonna do some research on what really would be the best thing and go from there. Spacers would be cool because it would widen the thing out a little bit, but it may put more strain on something, I'm not sure. So that's where we're at right now. Got the lugs, can't use them, either new studs or new spacers. So I'll come back whenever I decide something. Okay, so it's now Friday, it's 2 days later. I got in some studs. I decided to go with the studs because spacers were gonna be like $100+, and I got these cheap studs for like 15 bucks. I got 16 of them for $15. Pretty good deal. So these are 1 3/4. Hopefully they're long enough. I believe the ones I have on now are 1.38 inches, but we're gonna go ahead and try to find out. It's actually been like 24 hours since I made the clip just there that you just saw, and I kind of feel like crap. Yesterday had to take care of the kids and just didn't have time to finish actually making this video and swapping the wheels and studs. So today what we're gonna do is that, and I'm gonna back up my wife's car, get it out of the garage so I have some more room in here to work on this thing, and then start with probably doing the front wheels because I imagine they're gonna be harder, and take the hubs out probably, or the brake calipers off to knock the studs out of the wheel hub. So we're gonna back everything out, get some more room in here, and go from there. Okay, so this side is just as good as any, and sorry if it's echoey in here now because I pulled the car out. It's emptier in the garage and there may be an echo. But I'm gonna slip the jack underneath, jack it up a little bit so there's some tension on the suspension. And I'm gonna take a 14 millimeter and get off these lugs. It is kind of chilly out here this morning. So I'm going to start unscrewing these lug nuts most of the way, and then lift the quad up some more. I'm actually going to loosen the other side too, so let me get that out of the way real fast. Okay, now with the other side lugs off, you're going to take these off. The wheel should just come right off, like that. Set it off to the side. Do the same with the other one. Set your lugs somewhere. Oh. And now for safety reasons, you don't want just the jack underneath the four-wheeler in case it falls. So I'm going to get a jack stand and kind of set it right underneath there. I might actually jack it up a little more so I can click it one more. I'm going to leave it like that. Release some of the tension on the jack, so hopefully the stand holds it up some, and it does. And put more tension back on the jack. So it's the stand and the jack holding. I need to get these studs out of this hub. Now these are the new studs right here, and they do look a tad bit longer, which is exactly what I wanted. So in order to get these out, I'm more than likely gonna have to take off this brake rotor, which is unfortunate because I don't think I'll be able to put these in here. I think on some of them you might be able to. I probably could hit these out, so I may do that while everything's still on the quad, like all in the hub assembly and everything up here. Pound these out, at least get them loose. That way, once everything's out, I can pop them out because I don't have a press. So this is how we're going to be doing it for me. And it looks like to get this off of here, I'm gonna have to take the brake caliper off, which is just 2 bolts here. That should just slide off, and then maybe 4 bolts holding on this brake rotor, the brake disc thing here. So let me hit these a couple times, see what happens. I just got a standard hammer. I'm just gonna tap it a couple times. They come right out. I'd advise doing this now before everything is off of the quad. Like once this stuff is out, I don't know, it may make it easier or harder. I'm not sure. I just wanted to do it now. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now that those are out, you're gonna have to take off these 2 bolts holding on the brake caliper. So they are 1/2 inch, and I can't quite get them with a small extension, so I'm gonna use a larger extension to slip it behind here and twist it off with this ratchet. There's not a lot of room here, but there's plenty to get in here. Same with the one on the bottom. There's actually a little bit more room. So that one's not as hard to access. But once they're off there, you can just start spinning them off pretty quick. And it looks like there is a lock washer and a regular washer on these things, so don't lose them. So if we look here, there is a lock washer right there and a regular washer. I'm just gonna set those right there for now to the side so I don't lose them. Just put them somewhere you're not gonna kick them. Same thing. Put it off the side. Brake caliper should, as long as the brakes aren't engaged, should slide off of here. Oh, like that. I'm gonna need some new brakes soon. This would be a great time to replace your brakes, but I don't have any replacements, so I can't do that. It almost looks like this is gonna be a 1/2 inch too, so if we turn this, you might be able to see there are 4 bolts holding on this brake rotor. There's a 4. Actually have good access to your front end stuff here, so you can have a look at that. But it's probably gonna take a wrench because socket will not fit in there. What I'm just realizing is I probably should have left the brakes on and tried to take off this rotor before I tried to take off the actual disc here, because every time you try to turn, it spins. So you could have had it locked and you wouldn't have to worry about that. Or what I might do, since it is already off, is just take a screwdriver here and put it in this little, the air vent hole. I brought a couple just in case. This one seems to work, and it will stop your rotor from spinning. So that's what we're gonna do. And just have to wrench all these out one by one. As you can see, they all will come out. You're probably gonna wanna do it one at a time though, where they're accessible. So this is gonna take me a second, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm done. I got 2 of the brake discs bolts out. They're actually kind of a pain to get out. It might be easier to take off the hub, but it's loose enough now. I can pull these studs out, so that's literally what I'm gonna do. all the studs are out. Let's go get 4 new ones. Actually, let's bring it to the bench and I'm gonna show you the difference. Okay, so here are the studs. This is the major differences. Here is the ones I pulled off the green 450 Sportsman I had, or 400, I don't remember what it was now. It's been a couple years. Here are the ones I just pulled off, and here are the new ones. So you can see they're like maybe a 1/4 inch bigger. I mean, these are 1 7/16, it looks like. And the new ones are 1 3/4. So that should give me enough room to work with. We're gonna see. Here's the new ones, like I said. I'll have links down below where I got these. The same with the lug nuts. I'll have a link down below where I got them. So let's take 4 of them back over to the quad and put them in. Back of the quad, here's where the lug nuts go, or the studs. Gonna slip them in. Now you see there's splines on them and they have to be pressed in, but I don't have a press, so I'll show you what I did with my last foiler and what I'm gonna do with this one. I'm sure there's a better way to do this too, but this is what I'm doing. So all 4 studs are in there. I'm gonna take an old lug nut and thread this baby on all the way. And these are 14s, I know. I'm gonna get a 14mm wrench and tighten these suckers on. Back you guys up a little bit. I may actually, as you see, it is sucking the back end of the stud in. I might be able to do this actually. Let's see how this goes. The only problem is you can see I'm losing depth on this socket. Got like 2 or 3 millimeters left to go here. Oh, let me, oh, I didn't think about that. It's kind of marring the threads up a little. Actually, what I need to do is put these bolts back in for the, I need to put the bolts for the brake rotor back in because they are moving around. And that's not ideal. So let me get all these bolts back in for the rotor here and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, I got the rotor back on. I probably should have added some blue Loctite because there was some. I did get this bolt sucked in pretty good, and I ended up using a 14mm extension, or a deep well, 14mm deep well socket with this 14mm old lug nut. You don't want to use your new ones because you don't want to mess them up. And then I had to put it on an impact with a adapter here because I could not get it with the other one. So I'm going to try doing this with it on number 1 and see if I could suck this thing in here. It's kind of going. Probably not the best way to do that, but I don't know what else to do. It did suck it up all the way down there, so now we can take it off. There it is off. Threads look pretty good. And then when I go to crank on it, when I put the new lugs on and new wheels, it should center up and pull it down any tighter, because I'm going to crank on it with my big ratchet. So we're going to do this again. Just thread it on here. Get it tight. And it just sucks it in. Now there probably is a risk of breaking these studs because of how much torque I'm putting on them, but I'm making sure that when they get close to the end there, I'm not gonna just crank on them for forever, because I don't want to break these studs because I don't have any extras. So we're gonna do this one, and this should be the last one. And the other side I may do a little different, but if I don't, then this is how I've done them. And if I do, I'll show you. But if not, we're gonna put the new wheels on in the next clip. Now that that's on and good, we're going to put the brake rotor back on and get the wheels on. So it's just these 2 bolts on the brake rotor. Slide it on here. Remember your lock washer and regular washer there. Put them in and just kind of slide the rotor to fit. And then we should be able to use our socket and extension, which I believe I said was a 1/2 inch. It is. Get it to tightening. Get this one, make sure it's at least in. It is. Get your other one started. Make sure it lines up. Make sure it starts threading in. It is. And we're just going to cinch these things down. Okay, brakes are on. Next step is to bring the wheels over. Okay, so sorry if the last 2 clips, the quality was horrible. I didn't realize I was filming in slow motion. I'm not exactly sure why that happened or what I did to click that, but anyway, we're moving on to the back wheels. Okay, moving on to these. Don't do what I did and forget to put your brake caliper back on the front wheel. That's what I did. So, onto the back wheel, same as before. Get your jack underneath there. Get it ready. I'm going to zip all 4 lug nuts off on each side. Jack it up some. Put the jack stand underneath for protection, and we'll move on from there. Okay, both back wheels are off, and it looks like this is going to be the harder side. It's the right side. The left side does not have a brake assembly, so we're just going to do this side. We're going to hammer out these studs just like before and do it on the other side. The other side should be really easy, real quick, because you won't have to take anything apart. Just pop the studs out, push them back in, put the new wheels on. There are no clearance issues so far for the front. hopefully it's the same for the back. We will see, because the back wheels are an inch wider than the originals that were on here. So I'm going to pop these out real quick and then get to it. Well, these actually come out without even having to take off this bracket. I think the front ones did too. I'm not sure. I will have to take these castle nut covers off here because the new wheels won't fit on there with them on. I'll probably leave one on because I'm missing one of the covers. So it actually looks like the brake caliper bolts are bigger than 1/2 inch on this side, and same with the brake disc bolts. They are bigger. So these new sizes are going to be 9/16. So we're going to get a wrench and a socket for them. Okay, my neighbor came over for a second because he wanted to know what I was doing. So I put this other side on over there. It was super easy, like I said, because you don't have to mess with anything. You just pop the studs out, suck them back in, and you're done. You're good to go. So I'm gonna finish this side. I took this top bolt off the brakes caliper here, and I'm taking the bottom bolt off now. And it's kind of in a crappy position, so you can't really get a socket in there. I'm gonna get this off, and then I'm gonna start working on the four bolts up here and getting these suckers off so I can finagle these. So I can finagle these new studs in here. So I'll bring you guys back when I get to it. Okay, all 4 discs are loose. Now we just get our final 4 studs here. All 4 bolts on the disc are loose, and we should just be able to slide them in. Some may not be loose enough, but looks like they all mostly are. Maybe this bottom one isn't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to loosen this one a little bit. Pops in, last one. Pops in. So now we just go back and tighten them back up. And I'm gonna put the brake caliper back on before I forget, like the front one. And I'll bring you guys back after we're done. Okay, everything's back in. Now to zip these studs, press them back in, I should say, with my makeshift press here. This thing gets pretty hot, I will say. All right, there she goes. Now, you just need to add the tire and wheel. I ain't putting a tire on, I'm putting wheels on. Oh, I'm gonna have to back you guys up here. Okay. Let's start these lugs. Okay. All right. That is all the wheels on. Now we gotta take the jack stand out. And we can lower the jack. All right, there she is with everything on. What I should have done was measure the height because it has definitely lifted it off the ground some more. It is way higher. I would probably say 1.5 inches or more higher. I wish I would have measured it. I didn't, so oh well. But I'm going to ride it around the yard real quick, make sure everything's tight, and then I'm going to bring it back in and I will retighten all the lugs all the way around. Okay, just got back from like a little 5-minute ride. Probably shouldn't have rode as long as I did, but I was having a blast. I feel way higher up on this thing now. It probably is placebo, but I know it has gained some height, so that's awesome. But I brought it back in, checked all the lug nuts. 2 of them were a little bit loose, so I tightened them up. Everything seems good to go. No clearance issues so far. The only thing I was afraid of is maybe back here, this rubbing right there, but I don't think it's gonna have an issue there. I do need to check the tire pressure because when I was riding on the highway, I could tell that it was leaning to one side trying to pull. So I'm pretty sure this tire is low and maybe one of the others. I don't know. I'll check all of them, get them all the same pressure, but that's probably going to be the end of this video.
Slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
So I want to say thank you guys. If you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. I will have links in the description down below for anything that I purchased that I can't have links for. I will say again, I have members now, so it's 99 cents a month. I don't make any money off YouTube yet because I haven't hit 1,000 subscribers or even 4,000 watch hours, but still, I appreciate you guys for sticking around this long. Make sure you subscribe, like this video if you want to see more content like this, and hope you have a good one. Bye.